Okay, so this is a great hack that I learned as a brand new weaver that a friend of mine told me about. So basically, in my previous warp, I had threaded up well, I'd done all the threading and then realised I had a threading error. And I'd threaded the wrong heddle, so the heddle that was on the wrong shaft. So I started unthreading everything and rethreading it. And my friend's like, no, don't do that. Just move the wrong heddle to the side out of the way and create a temporary heddle on the right shaft. So that's what I'm going to do with this one. Basically, I've miscounted and I'm short about 5 heddles on shaft 3. I did take shaft 3 the end off and add some more, but I didn't add enough. So we're going to do it again. Well, I'm going to do some temporary. I've already added 2 temporary heddles. So I've got my heddle here, my sort of spare heddle. So I'm going to make sure that I've got a good tail on the end, and I'm going to measure sort of twice the length of the heddle and then enough for a really good tail to tie it over the top. Okay, so I'll cut here. Okay, we are quite close up so that we can see. So I've threaded on shafts 1 and then 2. So the next one is shaft 3. So I need to lift it up enough that I can get under it, but not too much that it messes up all of the things I've already threaded, which is kind of what it did before which is why I don't want to take it off again. Right, and then I want to make sure that my ends are even, because on one of the other heddles I ended up tying the knot here instead of on the top because they weren't even, but hopefully that will still work. So I'm going to get back my previous heddle on that shaft that I made, which is this lovely temporary one. And then what I want to do is make sure that I tie the knot roughly in the same place to create the bottom of the eye of the heddle. So about maybe slightly higher, about there, and then a double knot to hold it. And then on the double knot you don't want to pull it too tight so that it ends up way further down. Okay, then I'm going to tie about 1 centimetre above, roughly matching the other one, then a double knot to hold it, again not putting it too tight. Okay, so we've got the base of the heddle. Now I need to make sure I put it over the right shaft, which is number 3, so that's one end. And still my ends aren't equal, I don't know how that happens, but hey ho. Okay, so then I carefully tie. I'm going to adjust it slightly so that you can see, whoops, the top. So this is the top. Here are my ends that I've threaded round. And then I just want to, oops, no, I'm going to lose the end now. Carefully tie a knot. Again, my ends somehow have ended up unequal, but I've got enough. And I'd say pull it really tight before you chop the ends off, because on the last one I chopped the ends off and then they came undone. And I really struggled to retie them. So that is quite tight. I think I'll just give it a quick pull to loosen it off because most of my other heddles are quite loose. So then I'm going to cut the ends off. And then I'm going to thread it. So let's stick that one back in. So number 3. I think I'm going to have to do at least one more temporary heddle for this. And that's it. So there's your temporary heddle. And you know, when you're doing your next project, you can just snip it off, or you can keep it, or you know, whatever really. But a bit of a lifesaver.